Hello and welcome back to the original Larry D's for Thought. Food for Thought. Today we will be, of course, as usual, reading out of that old King James Bible. Be reading out of the Old Testament and out of the New Testament to the law and to the testimony. Okay. Be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title, The Holy Bible, a multitude of instructions for man from God. The Holy Bible, a multitude of instructions for man from God. Okay, I am going to share these scriptures with you right quick here. You can jot them down or you can take a quick screenshot of them if you like. But yeah, tell you people, this Holy Bible, this old King James Bible, it is indeed our roadmap to salvation. Okay, it is an instructional manual. Okay, just like you go and buy something, you get the instruction. They tell you read the instruction. You want to know how to put it together? Read the instruction. You read the instruction. Guess what? You'll be successful in putting it together. All right. Now, same thing with this Bible. You read it, you read these instructions, what the Lord had written in here, you have a pretty good chance of being successful in obtaining salvation. All right. But you got to do everything he said. I mean, not just the commandments, his laws, the raw law, but you got to do everything he had written in here, the do's and the don'ts. All right. He told you what not to eat. He told you what to eat. He told you how to treat your neighbor and how not to treat your neighbor. You know, these are instructions. Hey, you do it, you'll be successful. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing these. We're gonna go ahead and go over these scriptures, see if we can get a little bit of understanding on it. And uh and so let's pay attention to these things, man. This is important. I mean, everything the Lord had written in his book, man, he mean what he say. Okay. This is no God to be playing around with. He is not mocked. Okay. And if you saw earlier, I had a lesson on you can run but you can't hide, and you're not even your thoughts from the Lord. Okay, so he can look in that mind. He know your brain. He know if you're sincere or not. All right. But anyway, we're gonna get started with this. We're gonna start this in Exodus. Exodus, the 20th chapter. And if you know anything about the Bible, you know that right here is the commandments, even that raw law. Okay. And he's speaking to Israel right here. And he gave them these laws, all right? And Israel was supposed to take, the Israelites were supposed to take it to the rest of the world, okay? These laws. But of course, our forefathers dropped the ball, but we picking it up and trying to get it, get it out there, all right? Now, mind you, I am not talking about those Israelis over there, okay? Over there occupying the land of Israel. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the true Israelites that scattered all over the world, all right? Us, black folk, all right? That's who I'm talking about, the true Israelites, all right? But anyway, we're going to start this in Exodus, the 20th chapter. I'm going to start reading at verse 1. And it reads, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, okay, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, okay. The Lord brought Israel up out of there, out of Egypt. They're down there 430 years. He brought them up out of there, put them out in the wilderness. They was out there for 40 years, and he taught them his laws and statutes, okay. Now, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. All right. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Yeah, you got people that hate the Lord, man, believe it or not. Yep. Okay. Verse 6. And showing mercy. Now, the Lord said he will show mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So if you love the Lord, you will keep his commandments. Okay? Now, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Now, a lot of people say, well, when you use that GD word, are you taking the Lord's name in vain? No. Uh-uh. No, in other places you can read when you take the Lord's name in vain, that means you are breaking these commandments. You are sinning against God, okay? You can read that in other places, all right? Now, verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Did he say remember Sunday? Remember the Sabbath day, which we know is Saturday, the seventh day of the week. All right? Now, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger. That is within thy gates. So who is the stranger? It's your Gentiles, okay? Look, 11. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Didn't hallow Sunday, hallowed his Sabbath day, which is Saturday. All right? Now, 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Okay? The Lord had these written, and he had them written in stone, matter of fact. Okay? And he spoke them to him. And guess what? He mean it. He mean what he say. Okay? Now, let's go a little further right here. I'm going to take a look at this right here. Some more instructions he gave us concerning his feast days. And you get people always talking about, oh, them old feast days. That's for the Jews. They the Jews' feast days. Let's see. All right. It's in Leviticus 23rd chapter, start reading at verse 1, and it reads, listen, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord. Feast of the Lord, huh? Don't sound like the feast of the Jews, all right, to me, all right. Feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation, even these are my feast. Whose feast are they? They are the Lord's feast. Okay? They are his feast days. All right? And he have 7 of them, 7 annual feast days outside the weekly Sabbath. All right? Now, verse 3. 6 days shalt thou work, 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Even said the Sabbath is his. The Sabbath of the Lord. Okay? I'm saying that Saturday, the Sabbath day is for the Jews and Sunday is for the Christians. Boy, why did he get there? Heard somebody say it and then they repeated it because it sounded good. you know. But look at this, verse 4. Listen, these are the feast of the Lord. Whose feast are they? The Lord's feast, not the Jews, okay? And everybody's supposed to be doing it. Look, even holy convocation which ye shall proclaim in their season, you do it when the Lord say. Now, I'm not going to read all of them. On your own, you finish reading Leviticus 23rd chapter. It laid it all out. And I'm going to tell you something there. If you want to know the exact date when to keep them, I'm going to give you a website to go to, www.theisraelofgod.com. Go in there and pull up feast days, and it'll give you each year, it'll give you the dates that you should keep them. Okay? Now, man want to keep his feast days. What are they? Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, Halloween, all them things the Lord told you not to do, you do it. Why? Because man say you can do it. They making money off of it. That basically is all what it's all about, making money. And you're sinning against God because he told you don't do it. All right? So look, learn to keep these feast days, man. This is our instruction manual. Do what it say. Okay? Now, let's go a little further here. I'm kind of prolonging things. I'm going to pick it up a little bit here. Let's go to Proverbs right quick. Going to Proverbs, going to Proverbs 1. Proverbs, the first chapter, and I am going to start reading at verse 5. Now listen, and it reads, a wise man will hear, okay, and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. All right, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instructions. Okay. Verse 8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. But listen to these instructions. He said, hear them. Okay. Adhere to them and do them. All right. How you do it? Read the book. Simply read the book. Lord will give you understanding to it. Let's go a little further here. This is one Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3, I'm gonna start reading at verse 1. And it reads, listen, my son, forget not my law. All right. But let thine heart, let your mind keep my commandments. So the law, we talking commandments here. He said, keep them. Okay. Look at what it'll do for you now. Listen at this for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Ain't that something? Mm. Verse 3, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart, of your mind. All right. So shalt thou find favor. Listen. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Look at that. Boy, ain't that something? Look, 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, acknowledge the Lord, okay? And he shall direct thy path. Ain't that something? 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. Stop doing evil, okay? Fear the Lord. Read this book. You go see what he did in the past. I'm gonna tell you something. You see what he did. Tell you something. You learn to fear him. Okay? But let's go further here. Let's turn right over here to Ecclesiastes. I'm going to Ecclesiastes. I'm saying Ecclesiastes, third chapter. And I'm gonna start reading at verse 1. And let's see here. Because, man, I'm gonna tell you, there's a time for everything, man. And the Lord tell you about that stuff, man. He said, it's time for everything, man. These instructions here. Listen to that. This is Ecclesiastes 3, and I'm start reading verse 1. And it reads, look, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. All right, verse 2. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which was planted. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak. There's a time for everything. If you be wise and you hold that tongue and not let your tongue or your mouth get you in trouble, okay? So time to speak, time to be silent, okay? But yeah, think about those things, okay? Let's go further. I told you I'm gonna kind of speed it up a little bit now. Go to Isaiah 56 right quick. I'll show you this, man. See all these things, man, Lord telling you in here. Sit down and read this book. Some good stuff in here, man. And all this good stuff, man, it will help put you on a straight road to salvation. All right. Now, this is Isaiah 56. I'm going to start reading at verse 1 because A lot of these Gentile white folks, man, say, well, that's all that's for them Jews, man, them black folk. No, we're going to show you that ain't the case. The Lord said, whoever worketh righteousness and do his will, him will he accept. Okay? So don't get in your mind that the Lord done left you out, man. You start sinning against God. You got the opportunity to do the same thing. God is not a respecter of person, man. He treats everybody the same. Everybody, okay? Yeah, but you got to do it right, man. But let's look at this. Isaiah 56, start reading at verse 1, and it reads, look, thus said the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Look, verse 2, blessed is the man. Whoa, wait a minute, what did he say here? Blessed is the Jew. Blessed is the Israelite. No, he said, blessed is the man. Okay. Hmm. That doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hands from doing any evil. Lord put his Sabbath day in here too. Keep that Sabbath day, man. I'll tell you something, man. Them commandments are very important to the Lord, and they should be important to you, and you should be very, very, very apt to keep them, okay? Especially the Sabbath day. The Lord really stressed the Sabbath day, man. Tell you. People running up in them churches like troops on the first day of the week, Sunday. But verse 6, listen now. Also the sons of the stranger, told you, Mr. Gentile. All right. Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servant, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant. Man, he keeps stressing that Sabbath day. Get away from that Sunday thing, people. All right, verse 7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Now, how many does all cover? Everybody. Got the opportunity, man. Take it. Be wise. Take it. All right. But let's go further. Let me go right over here. Let me see. Where are we at here? I went to Isaiah. Did I? No, I didn't miss that. Okay. Ephesians. Going to the new book. Let's go to Ephesians right quick here. Let's see. Timothy, Colossians, Ephesians. Here we are. Ephesians, the second chapter. Okay. That's something I want to show you right here. This is Ephesians, the second chapter. And let's see here. We'll start reading at verse 11. Let's see. Make sure I got that right here. Yeah, verse 11 here, because I want to show, you know, the Lord love everybody. I mean, well, those that love him and keep his commandments. All right. Uh, but the Gentiles, man, they love you too. As long as you do this thing. But look at this. Let me show you this right here. This is Ephesians, the second chapter. Start reading at verse 11. And it reads, listen, wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. Okay? That's because that was a time when you was called the uncircumcised by the circumcised, okay? By who the people. All right. Verse 12, the Israelites, called circumcised, and then the Gentile called uncircumcised. Verse 12, that at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. Okay? But listen, but now in Christ Jesus, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh. You are made near by the blood of Christ. Okay? Look at that. Now, verse 19. Listen. Now, therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God. Now, ain't that something? Now, that's something to be happy for. All right? So, no, you ain't left out, man. You are in there. Now, let me show you this, man. Let's look at these instructions right here. Now, look at this. This is Ephesians, the 6th chapter. These are 6. I'm going to start reading at verse 1. Oh, even if children listening at this, listen. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment, with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. Look at that. Okay, now verse 10. Listen. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Putting on the whole armor of God, how do you do that? Reading this book, getting that word in you. You'll be able to stand against the wild things old Satan throw at you. How did he use? He used people. Send somebody at you, man. Learn how to deal with that. All right, you know how because you got that word in you, that whole armor. Look, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places that you can't see. Okay? So we ain't wrestling against no flesh and blood, man. The weapons of this warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through the pulling down of strongholds through God. Okay? Look, wherefore take unto thee the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand. They sticking together, stand in the evil day. Okay? And having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith. Got to have faith. Got to have faith. Without faith, you cannot please God. What is faith? Simply belief. Believing in God. Okay? Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Everything Satan throw you, be able to quench all them darts now. Put them down. Let me show you why. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of spirit, which is the word of God. That sword, it is sharp. It's like a two-edged sword. It'll cut going in, coming. Okay. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. The Lord had it written. He said, hey, man, I want us to pray always. Okay. Stay close to the Lord, man. Read this book. Get these instructions. Okay. Stay close to the Lord, man. Okay. But let's go to this last place right quick. Let's go to Revelation. We're going to the last book in the Bible. Revelation 22nd chapter, and I want to start reading at verse 12. Okay. These first two verses right here is in red. This is Jesus speaking himself. All right. And it reads, look, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. All right. 13, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Jesus was the first God we ever dealt with, to be the last God we dealt with. Okay. Now, verse 14, blessed are they that do his commandments. Look at that. Here we are in the last book of the Bible, even the last uh, chapter. And he's still talking about keeping them commandments, people. That raw law. Ain't that something? It's important that we keep these, all right? That they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Ain't that something? What city? Holy Jerusalem. That one that's coming down from heaven out from God. That city. That's the one you want to be in, okay? Now, blessed is he to keep them commandments. Okay. Now, 15. I wasn't going to read it, but I'm going to read it anyway. I'm going to throw it in there. It's 15. I think I did put it on there. Yeah, I did. Verse 15. Listen now. For without, so outside that city, listen. For without are dogs. I'm going to explain that in a second. But without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Hmm. But when he said on the outside of that city, dogs, Is he talking about? No, he's not talking about four-legged dogs, people. On your own, you want to know what these dogs, well, I'm going to tell you what dog, he's talking about homosexuals, okay? How do I know that? Because it's written, and I'm going to give you the scripture to go read on your own. Deuteronomy, go read Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter, verses 17 and 18. And it'll tell you what type of dogs he's talking about, all right? It ain't the four-legged dogs, two-legged dogs, them homosexual, them sodomites, all right? They ain't going to be in the city. They don't change their ways. They still got the blood running warm in the veins. They got a chance to repent. But it's on them. All right. But and those that making them tell lies, that little old white lie, a lie's a lie. Speak uprightly. Don't lie. Okay? Or you won't be in the city. All right. Last verse, 16. This is in red. Jesus. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. Okay? The Lord said his angel, man, you sit down, read this Bible, these instructions, this instructional manual. Call out unto the Lord, man. As you cry out unto me, I'll show you great and mighty things that you know not. Those angels will open up your understanding. And women, cover your head. We didn't cover that on, yeah, I don't think I did anything. I lesson on that one, but head coverings. Woman, cover your head when you're in this book, okay? Men, uh, have your head uncovered, okay? Lest you be dishonoring your head. Who is our head? It's the Lord, okay? So, read this book, this instructional manual. You have a pretty good chance make it in those gates. Okay? Hope you understood this. With this food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.